Well, hello there, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue on with LuckyBack against Mong, two phenomenal high-level players who are here on the fastest map, facing off against each other for glory, or bragging rights, or maybe some money. Who knows? Who knows what they were playing for? I don't know because I don't read Korean. And I'm not gonna go back to their stream VODs all the way back to September 22 of 2019 to find out what they were playing for. So let's introduce the players. We've got Mong here. It's not in the center. That bothers me. Let me center that name a little bit. Like right there in the center. Mong, you're on the orange Protoss. He was playing Terran in the last game. Now he's on the Protoss. And LuckyBack, you're on the Terran on the name 777LY, and a lot of L's and I's mixed together to form a barcode. Honestly, LuckyBack has so many of these kinds of names, sometimes it's really difficult to figure out whether it's him or not, unless it is actually from his own autosave. It's really difficult to find out, where is LuckyBack? Where in the world is a LuckyBack? But he's right here in front of us. We found him, finally. Battling against Mong. Mong starts off with a Nexus first. Probe there gets stuck on the Nexuses. Oh, that's annoying when it happens. It doesn't really slow you down much, but it's just annoying that the unit that you're trying to control is not listening to you. You gotta go through all kinds of other actions to get it off of the Nexus and send it back to your minerals. It's annoying, and it's just annoying. That's just the bottom line of it. Starts off with Nexus Choke. So Nexus Pylon, Nexus Forge. Choke there, and then he's going to build a gateway, send this probe to the choke, and build a cannon there. 2 cannons, maybe 1, not sure. Most players go for 2, maybe he goes for 1. Let's just see what he's going to do. 2 or 1. When you go for 1 cannon, you can get your gas a little bit faster. When you go for 2 cannons, you'll feel a little bit safer, but it does slow down your gas a little bit, because look at this. Now he's got 200 minerals for double assimilator. If he went for 2 cannons in the front, he would have to wait a little bit longer, maybe like 4 seconds longer, 5 seconds longer. There's back on 150. So it would have taken 5 seconds longer to get that double gas. It doesn't make that big of a difference, but in these very high-level games, you would think it doesn't make much of a difference, but maybe getting your Reavers out 5 seconds faster might just win or lose you the game. Or if you're going for Dark Templars, it might win or lose you the game. We've seen it not too recently in a game with Bjol and Minchel, where Minchel managed to sneak his Dark Templars through a block because the turret wasn't finished in time, like 2 seconds too late. And he managed to sneak through and win the game with some Dark Templars sneaking into the enemy base. So that just goes to show that sometimes these very small little things, these small details in these top level games really do decide who wins and who loses. So Cybercore finished up, going for Robo in the front, might go for cannon number 3, just staying there on standby with the probe because he isn't quite sure what LuckyBack is doing. He didn't get into LuckyBack's base. LuckyBack's now getting a choke because some Firebats trying to run through, but double cannon is going to stop the Firebats from getting through. If he had 1 cannon, one of the Firebats will be able to run through. He's going to try it. He's got 4 Firebats. Okay, 4 Firebats are going to get through. 2 are going to go down. Ooh, 3 are going to go down. 1 makes its way through. There's no cannon in the back. He's getting some probes to try and block the Firebat, but he's running around. Probes are doing a great job. He blocks the Firebat, kills the Firebat, and saves the day. And LuckyBack, after that cheesy run-by attempt, stops making Marines on his double barracks. He went for a very fast stim academy, very fast stim. And now he's getting 2 more command centers to prepare himself for a bigger economy because he's facing off against Mong's +1 Nexus. Mong at the moment does not have any offensive ability. So this is the perfect time in this game, in this match, to get 2 more command centers and beef up that worker count and start a factory, of course. Now, LuckyBack is a little bit slow on starting his 2nd refinery, because he got his 1st refinery about 20 seconds faster than you usually would. So he has more gas than he otherwise would if he went for a slightly later refinery. Going for 5 barracks and an engineering bay there, because he is on a middle spawn location, and I've mentioned this many times before, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different directions an opponent can come from, as opposed to when you're on a corner spawn. There's the front, there's the top side, and there is the other long side. So there's 3 sides to attack from when you're on a on a corner spawn, and 5 when you're on a middle spawn. That's why he's going for 5 barracks, because he needs Marines in the front and on both sides on the top and both sides on the bottom. There's just so many angles for a Protoss to fly in from with shuttles. You simply need more Marines. It's also why he's getting a level 1 attack to help him snipe down those shuttles and kill those units. There's Dark Templars on the middle killing his Marines. He's going to have to run away really quick. Mong really likes Dark Templars. There's no turret yet in the front, but it's being built. But there might not be enough Marines to kill the Dark Templars, because we have 3 Marines in the front, no units at all in the base, anywhere to be seen. He's going to have to plug up this hole really quick. He's trying to be as fast as he can. Going to put the medic there in the middle to seal off the front. Really well done. Really quick thinking there from LuckyBack. There's a depot. That's a depot. Medic in between and hold position. Marines are safe behind that wall, but now we've got a Reaver we've got a double Reaver coming in. LuckyBack might have played this a little bit too risky. Tank is not yet on the way. Siege mode is on the way there, though. Takes down the turret in the front, and this goes to show that getting that slightly faster gas is really helping Mong out. Because his Reavers arrived about 10 seconds faster than LuckyBack was prepared for. Although LuckyBack was not prepared at all for the Dark Templars and the Reaver combination. He's gonna hunt down the shuttle, takes down... Okay, 1 Reaver there gets taken down. The other Reaver's still alive. 1 Reaver does get a lot of kills there, though. Shuttle is flying away. Doesn't have shuttle speed yet. Shuttle speed is still on the way, though. So is Storm. So he has a follow-up drop of 2 shuttles with 4 Templars and 2 Reavers. They're on the way as the follow-up to this drop there coming in from the top. LuckyBack is not expecting this one. Nothing is here to intercept. The turrets are still on the way. SCVs are unstacking. Gets a huge shot there on the SCVs there on the right side. Gets 14 kills on that Reaver. Gonna fly out there and stay alive. Marines on the chase, but not in time. At the same time, we've got a double high Templar drop coming from the southern side before the turret is just in time, but LuckyBack is not prepared. He does not have a lot of units. He's in a very bad spot right there. Double storms on the SCVs. Doesn't really get any kills there, though. Maybe 2 or 3 SV kills there. Comes out from the top side with the Reaver once again. Takes on this entire group of Marines. Almost the entire group. Gonna pick it up and fly out and micro and gonna try to take them all down, but the very last Marine on 10 HP takes it down. But now we have another drop there coming from the southern side once again. Mong is rapid firing his shuttle drops and multitasking only like a professional player could multitask, without a single mechanical mistake. Double Reaver on the bottom side takes down the turret, secures safety for the shuttle. Going to stay there on the bottom corner and take down the supply depots, while 2 more shuttles are coming from the northern side. Ooh, LuckyBack is having a very, very bad time. Played it a little bit too risky against the very fast gas tech. Templar unloads, but Templar gets sniped. But now LuckyBack has no supply depots on the bottom side. He is supply blocked. Reavers are coming in, flying forward to the SCVs. Going to try to take them down. Reavers, SCVs are unstacking. SCVs are running away. The Scarab does get 2 kills, but not a lot of them. So that's a very close call once again there for LuckyBack. But Mong is picking him apart. This is absolutely beautiful Protoss. This is actually almost perfect Protoss. I don't think you can play Protoss much better than this specifically. Absolute top level performance. So there's a very small settled attack there from the front because he knows LuckyBack is on almost no units whatsoever. There's a couple Marines here in the base. Shuttles are flying in from the top side. 2 high Templars, 4 high Templars. Zealots are dropping as well. SVs are running away to safety. Yeah, LuckyBack knows he's dead and gone. He just lost all Marines. He gets a tank shot off on a couple of SCVs there. Zealots are on top of the SCVs to unsiege those. This is a done deal. Got only 5 SCVs running to safety. The most are still here in the backside, not hotkeyed. That was a disaster for a LuckyBack. Let's very quickly scoop over to the in-between overlay screen thing with the RJB TV logo and look for the next game. So far, the score between these two is 1 win for either player, a win for LuckyBack, a win for Mong. So far, only Protoss has won, but honestly, they have both played an extremely impressive Protoss. In the first game, Mong did put up one hell of a fight. Took half an hour for LuckyBack to kill him. And now he's back on the Protoss. Terran. He's back on the Terran here on the bottom corner of the map. It's Mong against, of course, LuckyBack here on the 12 o'clock spawn location on the white Protoss. Game number 2. Score is 1 win for both players. And we are going back and forth with Terran and Protoss, considered by the Koreans to be the most fun and almost the most balanced matchup. Protoss against Protoss and Terran against Terran and Zerg against Zerg, of course, are more balanced. But this is the next most balanced matchup, because they consider Zerg to just be so damn weak. Although some Zerg players are really impressive, really strong, like Brain, Minchel, and Biel, even Dorami and Hamburger Sasu, all are extremely good Zerg players. LuckyBack himself as well. LuckyBack also has a really nice Zerg, and the Rabbit, honestly, has a really smart Zerg. Not mechanically as strong as the others. Also, this is a very odd little configuration he's got going on here. Don't think I've ever seen anyone do something as funky as this. This is funky on the next level. So 1 cannon in the front, maybe going for 2. Already there's a gaster in the back. Only 1 cannon in the front. Mong is going for command center first because he's in a corner spawn. And he kind of knows LuckyBack is not the type of player to go for an early game rush. He's going to beef up his economy, whereas LuckyBack is actually going for a cheese build order. I just don't think this is anything other than a cheese. And honestly, this looks very funky. Very funky, spicy. Funky and spicy doesn't always mean it's good, but it's a LuckyBack, so it has to be good, right? This cannot be bad. And if it is bad, I'm going to have a very strong worded letter directed at LuckyBack and ask him to see the manager, because why would the manager allow him to do this? I'm going to go full Karen on his ass if this turns out to be simply terrible. But I've got high hopes, because I always love seeing build orders that are wacky, wonky, funky, and spicy. It's Dark Templars, though. It's Dark Templars. Mong is an academy on the way. No engineering bay yet. Got triple barracks there. One still on the way. Starting his gas at about 15, 16 SCVs. About 22 supply in. So double command center is doing its job with getting him a big economy. LuckyBack is getting gateway number 2. Might be a double Dark Templar. Seal of Doom is almost finished up. He's still scouting the map. Looks like LuckyBack got into Mong's base, so he knows Mong is playing it risky. Command center first. Triple barracks. Academy there still on the way. Getting a second refinery already. That's a very fast second refinery, but he wants to get a very fast factory as well. It's going to start the factory right about now, before he even gets his stim. Marines have figured out where LuckyBack is hiding on the 12 o'clock spawn location, although they're still running and splitting up. We have the Tempest Archive there on the way. We don't have a scan yet. We don't have stim yet. We don't have an engineering bay yet. There's no detection at the moment. This might get very spicy and dicey. This might become one of those very fast games where LuckyBack manages to successfully cheese, finally successfully cheese Mong into the Shadow Realm. But who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Nexus on the way there. Might go for a second, third Nexus. Pylon on the side for vision of his base. Everything is very well spread out. He's got vision of his entire base. There's stuff on the left, stuff on the right, stuff on the front. Everywhere you can see he's got stuff lying around. So triple depot there in the front to build a wall. Engineering bay there is also finally on the way. He's not going for 5 barracks yet, because of the thing I mentioned in the previous game of there only being 3 angles of approach. Very easy to defend compared to a middle spawn base. Triple refinery. Actually a lot of gas coming into the bank. So there's siege mode. There's a siege tank. Both on the way. Siege mode, come on. Siege mode, come on. See, put it on the way. Range is on the way. Stim is finished. There's Dark Templars in the front. He just used his scan. He just used his scan here on the front of... Oh, sorry for that one. He just used his front. Wow, my mouse control is terrible. Okay, so the Dark Templars are getting through. There's no scan at the moment. He's getting scan energy there. Let's keep it highlighted. He's very close to getting energy. He's building turrets in the back as well. Takes down an SV. Takes down the entire front door as well. That's going to be a supply block for Mong. Turret there is going to finish. Going to try to take this one down. Before this one finishes, one Dark Templar almost goes down. Scan energy is prepared. He's ready to take down those Dark Templars. But there's more Dark Templars streaming into the base on the bottom corner, on the top corner. This is going to be tough. Going to try to take down this turret before it finishes up. Manages to do so. Building 2 more supply depots to build a wall to keep those Dark Templars out. Gonna go straight for the Academy. Still has scan energy, but he has to be smart with his scan use. So you just non-stop Dark Templars coming out there from LuckyBack. Scans the Dark Templars on the bottom side, saves the Academy, kills 2 Dark Templars there, all around running in, trying to get some kills, trying to take down the turret, but this turret is covered by the turret there next to the command center. So Dark Templars are just gonna keep going to keep Mong small and occupied, and LuckyBack is just going to keep sinking and building Dark Templars. Going to keep setting them over, sink more minerals into them, and try to keep Mong occupied with very good multitasking and target selection. LuckyBack there, Mong there going for a starport right next to his command center. Very compact. He's adjusting and adapting to the situation, sacrificing his SimCity for the sake of survival. Worth it, not fun. Going to be difficult to reorganize his base later on into the game, but at the moment it is necessary that he forsakes and neglects his SimCity in order to not die to Dark Templars. So both players on about the same supply, because Mong went for a very fast command center. His money is big and massive. His base though is still kind of small. LuckyBack has achieved some results there with his Dark Templars, but it's not thing that is honestly decimating or crippling. It is mostly a big inconvenience. So very fast dropship on the way there from Mong. Might go for a science vessel right after, because he went for a very fast science facility. He wants to be able to spot out those Dark Templars. LuckyBack has a drop prepared. There's most likely 2 High Templars in there, and he's getting a second drop there as well. Shuttle speed still on the way, not yet finished up. Getting a Stargate now as well for Corsairs to help those shuttles fly in. Game is progressing kind of nicely, honestly. Mong is preparing himself for the shuttle drop defense because he knows shuttle drops are the next logical option. He doesn't really know how many Dark Templars are in his base. There's only 2 of them on both corners, but he's playing this as safe as he possibly can. Shuttle comes in. Mong is slow on the response. He's not responding at all, actually. So the High Templars are going to unload. High Templars are going to storm. And he storms really well. There's 41, 36, 35 SCVs still alive. So he took down about half of them. Really good storms there from LuckyBack. Mong didn't have vision on his corners. And if you don't have vision on your corners, responding to drops is just way harder than it should be. So dropship there, flying over the far side of the map. Going to fly all the way around for a tank drop. There's 3 cannons here on the Nexus. Not going to be enough to protect the probes from the double cannons, but there's a very wide area for LuckyBack to dodge his probes to run away from the tank shot. So once again, double shuttle there coming in from the northern side. Mong not responding that well. Gets blocked by the medic. SVs are running away. Templars are on the scene. Hits himself with a tank shot. Storms right on top of the SCVs. Takes down 12 of them. Down to 23. So yeah, LuckyBack is he's throwing some pretty hard-hitting punches here at Mong's face. And Mong is face tanking them with his face. He's not dodging. He's actually eating those punches with his face. Things are not looking that great. But Mong, is he going to secure a choke or is he going for a push? It's a push. Is it going to work? I don't know. The LuckyBack has about 10, 12 gateways. He's pretty well prepared there. He's got a lot of production capability. He's got 10 zealots on the way. He's got Templars here at home as well to fight against those Marines. Drop is coming in from the from the left side, and another drop is prepared. They're going to find from the northern side. But first, we're going to have Mong hit the choke there. Ooh, LuckyBack knows it's coming. LuckyBack knows an attack is on the way. He's moving out there. Going to unload those temples and storm on the Marines. Marines are dodging the storms, but a little bit too slow. The defensive medics are on the tanks. Storms on the tanks as well. This is a really good defense, but it's not going to be enough, as Mong still has forces to push forward with. But now drop comes out from the bottom left. Mong has nothing here at home to defend. There's some vultures, but they run away. The bunkers are empty. Templars on the scene. Templars storming. Templars hitting their storms, but not really killing all that much. Now down to 28 SCVs. That does hurt him a little bit. Does slow him down. He's not allowed to recover, but he's also pushing here on the other side of the map. Building bunkers and turrets to protect his tanks and keep his marines safe from storms. He's got a vessel there in the air to protect from Dark Templars, but Zealots are already running into those tanks. The LuckyBack realized that he might have to run around and just go straight for the base. Got some vultures there though with speed and possibly with mines, ready to defend, ready to micro. Mong there, a pro player, has great vulture micro. He's going to take down those vultures easily. Vultures are going to pull those Zealots in. Absolutely insane game here from Mong. Low economy, but still pushing onwards very strong and hard. And I think I missed a tank drop, but a tank drop surely did hit something there. I was too distracted by everything else going on, but a tank drop must have hit some pros because he's down to 50 and he had 60 just earlier. Another vessel there is being pushed away by his turrets now. Templars lands on top of the tanks. Tanks are going to get taken down. Oh, he doesn't have energy for a second storm, but now he's unloading more units and he kills the tanks there, secures his base. Got vultures there inside of Mong's LuckyBack's base. On the assimilators, there's mines everywhere as well. Mong is getting a lot of results there with that one push on a low economy right after losing the SCVs. He's gambling, he's going hard, but he's playing at the max. This is Mong at his best. Doesn't have a lot of money, but his control, his multitasking is so damn good that he's actually pushing LuckyBack with the bigger economy back into his base and keep him contained. Once again, vultures laying mines there in the front. Zealots are sacrificing themselves to trigger the mines. Tanks are doing a great job there from afar. We've got raids coming in as well to take down the shuttles. There's robos in the back. Vultures are still killing probes on the gas. It's absolutely being a pain in the ass. The vultures have done so much more than they should be allowed to. Zealots running in, vultures protecting, bunkers protecting, tanks might go down. The Zealots don't take down the tanks. So Mong's going to repair them. There's no drops flying out at the moment because those raids are running back and forth, taking down shuttles and everything else they can. Mong's economy now back on 46 SCVs. He's got 5 factories, 2 starports, but he's still pushing onwards bravely. Although those mine drags there from the Zealots into the tanks, that's a beautiful one. Tank stays alive, but the SCV went down, so no repair left anymore. More mines are being placed in the choke. LuckyBack is not building probes. He's just focusing on making units and defending himself. He's putting all of his actions into fighting this kind of improvised bunker tank line that is very slowly dying. Very slowly dying, but more probes, SCVs there being pulled across the map. Gonna build a supply depot wall to make it harder for LuckyBack to break through. Taking those Marines out the bunker, stimming them up to make sure he secures the wall. Mong is actually... This is why Mong is the best Terran ever. This is insanely good stuff. Down 55 SCVs. LuckyBack still not producing probes, still completely focused on trying to defend against this. Because Mong thought he was winning the game after those storm drops, but now he is in a pretty dicey, difficult situation. But he's pushing back. Finally he's pushing back. Zell's on top of the tanks. Reavers on top of the tanks. Reavers shooting their load onto the tanks and the vultures. Picks up one of them. Raids are coming in to take down the shuttle. There's nothing left inside the bunkers. It looks like LuckyBack has successfully... Okay, I called it too early. He's not yet out of the clear. He's not yet out of trouble. He's close being out of trouble, though. Yeah, LuckyBack has just saved his own hide. He's successfully repelled the extremely aggressive push Mong, he's back to producing probes, back to building his base, back to preparing drops. He has secured his safety. And Mong now, though, is in a difficult situation. He has tanks. And so these are repairing the tanks. Raids are in the air, finishing off low HP zealots. Sieging up here on the middle, he's still playing very aggressively. This is a very aggressive far forward position for Mong to take. LuckyBack, though, has got a drop there coming out from the top right corner. Raids are returning back home. He's got 5 raids in total. Might spot out the shuttles coming in. Let's go to red versus... Okay, it's not red versus blue. Takes down the shuttles. Templar doesn't load. Templar is going to storm on the SCVs and he kills about 19. And now a frontal zealot attack there, breaking through, killing the tanks, killing the turrets, running into the front door. Mines are being placed just in time. Tanks sieging up on every single corner. Mines are going to save. Wow, that mine pop took down 10 zealots. That saved the day for sure. I'm going to quickly place a couple more. He's got 2 armories there. Does he already have tank upgrades? He's on 0-0. So all the action from now that we've been seeing for the last 6 minutes has slowed both players down, but both players are still standing, still alive. LuckyBack in a slightly better position, although low on pros, but high on money. He's in a pretty good spot. Low on gas though, although he's putting his workers back to work on the gas. His upgrades are currently on 101. 010 actually. So he has not really been doing that great on the upgrades. Neither has Mong, with both players got economically hurt. Both players have been fighting. Both players have been staying alive. Both players have been improvising. Because the situation that we just saw is kind of unique. It's kind of unique. So Mong still very aggressive with the very far forward placement with the vultures and the mines. Vultures are awesome against zealots. Mines are even better against the zealots. We got dragoons in the mix now as well. We don't have observers on the middle yet. Observers are great at taking down the mines if you mix them with dragoons. Drop coming down from the bottom left. He forgot the Corsairs though, so he's waiting a little bit to regroup them. Mong now finally rebuilding a wall there in his choke because he no longer has control over the middle. His gas is low, minerals are low, but he's got triple command center. He's getting more gas than was. Well, he's currently mining from 5, but he's going to go for 7. He's got about 7-10 factories at the moment. Double starport, one side facility. His base is a mess. Got the raids there trying to defend against the shuttles, but the shuttles are too great in number, although he does take most of them down before they arrive at the SCVs there in the back. But instead, he's going to kill everything here on the bottom right corner. Tanks and vultures and Goliaths from the front moving to the back to take down those zealots before he loses the armory. Yeah, he's going to cancel level 1 armor. That's a big one. That's a big one. And also take down 6 turrets, 7 turrets, 8 turrets, a depot, armory. That's a lot of damage, honestly. And now he's got a pretty good opening there on the bottom corner to fly in from, but the raids are covering that corner. Got turrets everywhere. This is a really messy base, but Mong is trying his best to at least fix his Sim City. So frontal attack, they're coming in, but there's too many tanks, too many vultures in the front. This won't really do that much, but it might be a great distraction. No, it's not a great distraction, but the raids take down the shuttles and dodges the storm. Dodges storm number 2, takes down the Templars, and the front has been protected as well. The game is still going at high tempo. These two players have just never ever played this match at a slow tempo. Just always something happening. There's always some fighting going on. Command Center number 4 now on the way on 67 SCVs, and LuckyBack is on 59 pros. He's setting up more main protection. Getting a fleet beacon as well. Getting a carrier proxy base somewhere on the map. I assume it's going to be right. It's just going to be here back at home. He doesn't have a carrier proxy base. He's just building gateway proxy bases. Getting cannons on the middle. While the pylons are there, the cannons are not there yet. Mong is close to maxing out though. And Mong being close to maxing out might move out very soon. Drop there from the top right corner. A lot of turrets in between. Raids with expert control. We're of course going to try to snipe them down. Comes in from the top side. Lucky Mong is responding. Raids are there to intercept, unloads the Templars. Templars storming on the raid successfully takes most of them down. Zealots are now clearing out a couple of turrets. Goliaths are coming in to save the turrets just in time. That drop really didn't do that much. The Wraith response, beautiful, great map awareness. Still only on 2 armories, so no air upgrades at the moment. But level 2 damage on the tank. But the level 1 armor got cancelled with the armory snipe. So he's still low on armor upgrades, but he's honestly at the same spot that LuckyBack is at with his own upgrades. LuckyBack is kept getting slowed down. He's got 3 forges though, so he is getting level 2 weapon, level 2 shield, and level 1 armor. We got Mong with it going with his very signature dropship move on the hills, on the sides, to just be an absolute pain in the ass there. He's gonna use these hills to his utmost advantage. Got Templar Storms there though, coming in to take down all those units on the high ground. Of course, they're taking down the tanks. Zealots are being dropped on top of the tanks. And without much issue, LuckyBack takes down the tank drop. But it does distract him, does slow him down from that drop attempt. Another dropship there flying across the map, flies into tanks though, loses 1 dropship. And returns back home after putting some tanks on the high ground to get some control over the map and force LuckyBack into clearing out those small group of tanks on the hills. Still building gateways all over the place. Has Fleet Beacon, but not enough Stargate. Still slowly adding onto his base there. Getting more pylons, more gateways. His base is an absolute mess. Both players, their bases are absolutely disgusting. It's not pretty to look at. The SimCity is terrible, but both players are making it work the best they can. So the drop from earlier now ready to go in over the bottom corner. There's some Goliaths on the high ground, ready to snipe down those shuttles. Actually, pretty creative stuff here from Mong. Also sends out another group of dropships, but flies into a proxy base. Going to take down the proxy base. Shuttles coming in for the bottom side. Goes in all the way as these are running to safety. Zealots are unloading. Does he have Templars in the mix as well? The Templar shuttle died, but Zealots are still on the scene, and there's not much here back at home to protect. Dropships are returning and unloading, but there's not much left in the dropships because he unloaded here on the proxy base. So now his command center is in danger of going down. I'm going to have to repair it. Goes down. I couldn't select for some reason. I was clicking on it, but it wouldn't select it. So he loses his main command center. Zealots are still wreaking havoc there back in the corner. Tanks a lot there in the front. Goliaths as well. Dragoons are going to secure the proxy base. There's still a lot of stuff going on. But we no longer are having those middle fights, those confrontations of army against army on the middle that we were having for the first 60 minutes. We've kind of shifted into an aerial battle of Mong dropping on the hills, losing his units on the hills, LuckyBack being distracted, being led astray, being run around to protect and secure the map. Some more tanks on hills. He's just putting a couple of tanks here and there, as annoying as one can possibly be, to spread out his forces and make it more difficult for LuckyBack to kind of clear out all those units all over the map. Ooh, LuckyBack is going for a mind control, it appears. He does have the Archon there. Still no proxy carrier base. There are cannons being built all over the place. LuckyBack is definitively going for map control. He wants to keep Mong contained in his base, but Mong is close to maxing out. And he has his tanks unsieged, picks them up, he's not moving out, just unsieging them. There's some SCVs there on the middle. Still hasn't really fixed his base, it's still very ugly. Does not have a very high number of factories, but he's doing as much as he can with what he has. Same for LuckyBack. This game is really turning messy. But there's so much going on left. Oh, he got the mind-controlled SCV. He got the mind-controlled SCV. He was there on the corner. And LuckyBack is flying back home, which means Mong now has to start pushing. He has to start moving. He can no longer sit back and mess around with dropships and tanks and dropships. He has to make something big happen. Moving out. Gets spotted out by a Corsair. LuckyBack might respond. LuckyBack probably knows it's coming. LuckyBack there still has some zealots on the high ground. And he unloads on the high ground a lot of Goliaths, taking down the shuttles. There's still Templars there, though. Templars are storming on the tanks, but he only has 2 storms. And I don't see any Templars anywhere else in his base. Drops are running back and forth, unloading all over the place. Corsairs are doing a great job there, though, but the Goliaths are taking down the Corsairs. Drops are dancing back and forth, trying to avoid Corsair fire, but they do in the end all go down. Although one stays alive, picks up a Goliath, and puts it up on the high ground. So very interesting little fight there on the hill. He's slowly pushing forward, slowly getting more control over this bottom right corner of LuckyBack's base. But LuckyBack has gateways all over the place. It doesn't really hurt him all that much. It is very annoying. He does have to pay attention to it, but it won't hurt his production. And the Zealots are successfully clearing out those units on the high ground. I think it's about time that Mong actually just moves out over the middle instead of toying around on the hillside. Although he's got control here at the moment. And he is taking down fortresses, is taking down stuff here on the side. He is being a thorn in LuckyBack's side. But he's going to have to start focusing on hunting down the SCV and the command center. LuckyBack at the moment, though, is so occupied with protecting himself against these tanks, he's not actually building with that SCV. Not anymore. He's occupied and focused on all these tanks on the high ground. LuckyBack, though, might... I thought he might go for a frontal attack, but there's too many units there out on the map from Mong that a frontal attack wouldn't actually work. So Mong is just going to keep ignoring all those cannons on the middle. Why fight through a wave, an army of cannons on the middle, when you can just drop ship your units across the map and land them in LuckyBack's corner? It's getting closer. Got tanks on the high ground there, protecting the tanks on the low ground. Storms on the tanks, but the tanks don't go down. Zealots are running into the tanks. He's going to have to pick them up very quick, and he does pick them up very quickly, very nicely. With an auger there protecting with its invisibility cloaking. It's a very big base there being built on the side. But with a lot of SCVs, Mong might actually not be aware, or maybe Mong is trying to push for the probes as fast as he possibly can. And so far, he's kind of doing a good job, but that stasis on the tanks and the dropships is going to slow down his push. Does have more dropships back at home there, though, and picking up the last couple of tanks he still has here. Send him across the map and go for another little push there from the hill. LuckyBack is just trying to buy time for his Terran army to become operational. He's getting factories, getting barracks, getting SCVs, getting a proxy Nexus base to relocate his minerals, because he probably knows he's going to lose the probes here. He's going to lose the Nexus here. He probably knows he's not going to be able to defend this. He needs carriers to defend this. You can keep sending in waves and waves of zealots, but carriers are at this point pretty much the only thing that can successfully protect his probes from this approaching wave of tanks, dropships, and Goliaths. His economy is in danger, so he's trying to relocate his economy as fast as he possibly can to the top left corner. But this game, at the moment, is absolutely bonkers. We've had action non-stop, and the action is continuing. There's never a drop in the action. LuckyBack, though, is so occupied with protecting himself, so occupied with building the proxy base, that he's not dropping Mong anymore, and I think he should go... Oh, he just dropped him. He just dropped him. There's shuttles... Oh my god, the minimap colors are really bothering me. So he dropped him down to 34 SCVs. Mong is recovering his SCVs, and this is taking the speed out of his push. But LuckyBack currently also has no income at the moment. He scans the proxy base. Did he see the mind control? I think he saw it. He spotted it. So he knows there's a proxy base there from LuckyBack, while LuckyBack here is losing his main base, at least the right side of the main base. He's relocating everything elsewhere to his proxy base. And this other proxy base, he's got a lot of proxy bases. Corsairs are hunting down dropships. Dropships going down before they can unload. That's very unfortunate for Mong, because Mong doesn't have a lot of money, does not have a lot of SCVs, does have a lot of gas, so he can pull most of his gas SCVs onto the minerals and increase the income. Observers spreading out across the map for map vision. Tanks are still stuck on the high ground. Corsairs flying back and forth to hunt down dropships, but Mong decides it's been enough. It's been enough toying around with dropships. It's time to move out over the middle and seize the moment. Because LuckyBack's money is low, and LuckyBack is still recovering from losing most of his main base and losing his income from his main base, that LuckyBack now might not be able to defend himself against his push over the middle from Mong. But there's a lot of zealots and shuttles with units in them. LuckyBack is going to try to run over this army on the middle. Starts unloading on top of the tanks. Zealots are penetrating through. Tanks of the high ground are doing a great job there, but tanks of the high ground is now also exposed to a zealot that's hitting them. Looks like Mong, though, will be able to fight off that large wave of gateway units, but it does kill a large chunk of his army. I think he lost about 40 army supply there. He's very quickly rebuilding it, though. Very quickly rebuilding it, entering the middle once again to push forward once again. Gonna have to pick up all those tanks and Goliaths on the high ground because they're stuck. This is a lot of supply stuck on the hill that he actually wants to use for something else. So he's gonna pick them all up and land them on the low ground. There's a couple of probes here back on the main minerals. There's a drop flying here on the left side. Tanks pushing over the middle. Dropships got picked up. LuckyBack might know what's up. He's relocating, returning back home. Corsairs, oh, he's unloading right next to the probes. Probes are gonna get tanked to death. It's not a lot of probes, though. It's about 12 of them. It's not a lot of them, so actually the damage is kind of low. Because he's got this huge proxy army here on the other side where tanks are finished up, ready to go, ready to take over the map. Mong is pushing, though. Mong is pushing over the middle, has killed all the cannons on the middle. Tanks are trying to relocate as fast as they can before Mong can set up, before LuckyBack can set up here. 2 tanks are being dropped from a shuttle, already there in the air to protect them. Mong is sieging up. A lot of Goliaths and tanks are pushing across the map, ready to enter the main base. So LuckyBack is kind of just relocating to his proxy base. Because his main base, he won't be able to defend this. His main base is going to get taken down. Mong is pushing forward and LuckyBack is low on money. Low on money, very low on money. There's almost no gas at all. He's not mining gas from his main base, he's mining gas from his proxy base, but he's not using all of the assimilators. He's going to have to build more refineries and assimilators very quickly because right here, Mong is pushing forward and pushing through. LuckyBack is not having a great game. Mong is playing an amazing game. On a very small economy, he's got 45 SCVs. He's very small on the money. If LuckyBack were to hit a drop right now, it would be very, very bad for Mong. A couple tanks there in the back protecting the main nexuses. Got there just in time. Zealots are buying him time as well. More tanks are rolling across. He might just try to overpower those tanks and roll forward. He might just try to overpower them. Ooh, disruption webs are coming in clutch. Shuttles are dropping tanks inside of LuckyBack's base here to keep it all alive. He's setting up kind of a protective circle of tanks. I feel at this point, Mong might need raids or battlecruisers. So Mong realizes he can no longer push forward on the main base. The main base is protected by the tanks. He's going to try to take down this proxy base here on the left, but LuckyBack is dropping tanks here just fast enough. Just fast enough with the shuttle tank drop play. Not something we ever actually see. I don't think we've ever had on the channel that shuttles are getting flown across the map transporting tanks. That's a very rare thing to see. So Corsairs with Disruption Web there are making it difficult for LuckyBack for Mong to attack this. Tanks are sieging up there just in time. Mong comes out with his own dropships. They're going to drop right on top and next to his tanks. Let's try to take them down really quick and make sure this proxy base never ever stays operational. He's gonna have to take it down really quick, but tanks are still spawning. Shuttles are still picking them up. LuckyBack's money is still not in a great spot, but he is recovering his economy. He's not rebuilding his bases though. It's just he's being so occupied with defending against Mong's pushes forward in his own tank production. He's not building anything at the moment except units and sending those units back and forth. Yeah, but Mong is putting up one hell of a fight. He's broke though. He's gonna need a bit more gas, honestly. His gas is very low, but he's fighting against a Terran Protoss army. He's fighting against more than 200 enemy supply. That is pretty damn difficult to do. But he's holding out. Dark Templars though gonna clear out this main base. Corsairs are there to protect and disrupt the tanks. Tanks cannot fight back under the disruption web. This is a very difficult game for Mong to play, and I think LuckyBack finished his mind control tank army just in time to definitively secure himself a successful defense. It's messy though, it's messy. His army is spread out all over the place. This is like as scrappy as it gets. But Mong is successfully gaining ground at the moment. Still a couple of tanks are on the high ground, securing this corner in Mong's advantage. Mong now clearing out a couple of last tanks on this 9 o'clock base. Proxy base has been cleared out successfully. Where is Mong gonna go next? Gonna try to kill this main base here. He's gonna try to kill these. He's gonna try to kill these tanks here inside the choke point, unloading them. Not very successfully though. He's not unloading on top of the tanks, but the Goliaths are very close. But the disruption webs are securing the vicinity. It looks like the tanks aren't gonna stay alive. Not the best unload from Mong right there. Not the best unload. He should have unloaded right on top of the tanks, not in front of them. But he does clear out those tanks in the end there though, but it cost him way more than it should have. The supply is also dropping, down 160 supply. The lack of gas is hurting him. But Mong knows he cannot afford to give LuckyBack much more time. This time around he unloads on top of the tanks though, so he's going to clear out those tanks, but the storms right there to clear out his own tanks. So this really is small fights. High tempo. High tempo, small fights. This is a Terran against Terran at this point. The Corsairs, though, are honestly the MVP of the match. The disruption webs on the tanks being unloaded, making sure Mong cannot use those tanks, is really keeping LuckyBack alive. Also, LuckyBack has relocated most of his probes back to his main base, because his main base is protected by tanks. Pretty difficult for Mong to push forward on those tanks. He has an Arbiter as well with stasis. Course is there with disruption webs. Mong goes in though. Gonna unload on top of the tanks. Stasis is onto the dropship, so only 2 tanks. Double stasis. Successfully defends that one. Splits up his army here on the middle. Black Templar in the mix gets taken down by a storm. Siege is up. It's kind of lucky for LuckyBack that he didn't stasis his own tanks below the stasis right here. It means that he can still protect his main with those tanks. If those tanks had been stuck in stasis, I'd imagine Mong would just roll forward and destroy the Nexus and the probes. Couple more tanks that are being unloaded. Mong has maxed out upgrades. I think LuckyBack is currently on 0 upgrades for his tank, so he's not getting tank upgrades at all. And the lack of tank upgrades for LuckyBack there is actually helping Mong out a lot. But LuckyBack is making up for the lack in upgrades with disruption webs from his Corsairs, great storms, and the use of the Arbiter. So please Mong, get a couple. Oh, Mong is putting most of his workers back on the gas, but doesn't have a lot of workers on the minerals. He's kind of gambling. Slowly pushing forward there though. Going forward with the Goliaths and the tanks. Sieges of the tanks. Gonna try to take down those tanks there on the Nexus. Ooh, Disruption Web's coming down clutch, but one more tank is alive right there. Gonna try. He can't see it. He can't see the tank. It's under the Arbiter. He can't see it, can't kill it. And just in time, more tanks are sieging up right in front. And they're gonna secure the vicinity. Although the tanks on the high ground are kind of hurting LuckyBack there. Yeah, LuckyBack saves the situation very tightly. And Mong killed his own economy. Mong kind of knows that it's now or never. Oh, Disruption Webs are once it, oh, he kills the tank. But he has to kill the cannons first before he can kill the probes. He's focused though. LuckyBack picking up more tanks with the shuttles. So many tanks here in his proxy base. Proxy base is basically his new main base at this point. Flies over. Shuttle. Oh, there is a Dark Templar in the mix. Disruption Webs as well. Disruption Webs to prepare for the tank unload. Unloads the tanks. Both players are sieging up. Yes, it's stasis on the tanks. And Mong calls GG because he's out of money, out of army. And LuckyBack successfully stays alive in a battle of attrition. And the battle of attrition is won by LuckyBack in this absolutely crazy, very scrappy, all over the place Terranigan's Protoss. Right from the start, this game was all over the place. But LuckyBack wins again. And it's 2 wins for LuckyBack, 1 win for Mong. And let's see what's going to happen in the next games in the next video, okay? So it's going to be a very long video. We are 51 minutes in, and I'm going to call it a day. Goodbye.